All right, guys, welcome in. This is the Coach Caleb Ross Show, and man, it has been a journey all season long. We have finally made it to the last week of the high school football season. It is Sidney Lanier week. Joining me, as always, head coach of your Prattville Lions, Coach Caleb Ross. And, Coach, man, it was about 75 yesterday. It was about in the 70s a little bit earlier this morning, and then the rain came, and out of nowhere, it's like 45 degrees, and I am freezing out here over at Buffalo Wild Wings.
I stepped out of my office like at 10:30, and it was like 71. Then I stepped back out at 11:30, and it was 51. That's amazing. Yeah, it's a little chilly.
Yeah, it is. It is also Halloween, so the night before the last game of the season, tonight is Halloween. So of course, be safe if you're listening to the show on your way out to take the kids out to have a little fun on Halloween night as well. Coach, what are you going to dress up for tonight? Yeah,
This is as good as it gets right here.
Coach
so
Ross.
I'm going to dress up as assistant coach at Prattville High, head coach or whatever. Probably just assistant. That way nobody get no insults. So.
Coach, last week a big game, Smith Station. It was a game we kind of broke down. It was the last Region 2 matchup, Class 7A of the season. A big win for your Lions, 49-21 was the final. Actually, our Buffalo Rock player of the game, I see him over there right now, Taylor Thompson. Big game for him, Coach. 5 catches, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns. A type of game that we knew he was capable of seasons. Definitely put up stats pretty comparable to this, but the second to last game of the season, we get him in for the Buffalo Rock Pepsi player of the game.
Yeah, that's what I told him. It's about time, man. About time he done something around here. So, no, he actually had 6 catches. They called a touchdown back that he had was really just one of those. I guess we just agree to disagree calls, but that just happens sometimes. And the officials do a good job. It was a really well officiated game. That just one missed call. Things happen. I missed a lot of play calls Friday night, so how that just goes. But man, really proud of Taylor. I mean, he puts up numbers every week. He's had an incredible senior year. He's had an incredible junior year. I mean, he easily could have probably got this, a couple times this year. But, very deserving. Had a really good night last Friday night.
Coach, Smith Station, look at this game just in review. First half was pretty much controlled by your team. What did you see that you really liked offensively? And, of course, we touched a little defense, but you definitely put up a lot of points in the first half.
Well, if you're a fan and you watch the game, you saw some things that you would think that would probably – you may say, man, is he saying that comment? But, man, I thought our O-line played really well. Like, we gave up some 2 4th-and-1s that we did not get. One was probably not a great play call. The other, they just had us outnumbered and guys shot the gap, made a play. And we gave up some early pressures. But really beside that, man, we played really well up front. We really did. I thought Kyle, quarterback, probably had his second best night since Stanhope. I really did. I thought he was dialed in, threw some really good throws in the first half. I thought it was good to see our running backs. Jaden Kidd had a nice run for a 36-yard touchdown. It was really good. So those guys, man, and like obviously the night Taylor had, and it was good to see that we got Kendrick some work in the slot. We need to be probably multiple as we move into the playoffs and into tomorrow night. So he got some work there and did some good stuff, had a big touchdown catch. So offensively, I was really proud of some stuff. Defensively, probably wasn't our best night. Man, I didn't think we tackled as good as we have in the past. But still, some guys played well. Our outside linebackers, Ian Jackson, A.P. Coleman, both had good nights. Mason Taylor had a quiet 10-tackle night. I mean, you're a pretty good player when it's a quiet 10-tackle night.
Quiet, yeah.
But he played well again. And then, Broderius Lewis up front, just a force. He only had about 2 tackles, but he affected the game. Like he's chewing up double teams. He's making it hard for them to pull guards. He's just disruptive, and that's what you want out of that position. So, a lot of good stuff.
Dixie Country 100.1 FM, where you can listen on the radio. Also, you can watch us live on Prattville Live YouTube, see it on Facebook. You can go to YouTube Stream as well and watch the show each and every Thursday night, 5:30 to 6:30. Coach, also, if you can't get it, you need to get it on the internet, dixiecountry.com. Plus, you can ask Alexa to play Dixie Country. Now, Coach, each week, incredibly analytical type of guy, as I am. I've been keeping up with your points for, points against. What's the difference we're looking at after the Smith Station win? Okay, 49-21, 276 points. Only 120 you've given up. That's a 156-point difference. So it jumps right off the board. Just the difference. One, offense is putting a lot of points up, but defensively, I mean, you give up 21, but you got to think before that game last Friday, your defense haven't given up 100 points on the season. Not a lot of teams, especially in 7A, can say that.
Well, was probably a little bit unfair to what I was saying about that. I didn't think the defense played their best night. because, man, they've been playing lights out all year. So you give up 21 points. And it really wasn't so much the touchdowns. They got behind on, a couple of our young corners, which we were worried about, but they got to get experience. I didn't think we tackled well. But overall, when we needed to make stops Friday night against Smiths, we did. Our defense played really well. So, our defense has been stellar all year. And as we go into tomorrow night and as we move forward in the playoffs, we're going to need them to continue to play stellar. We are, because you're going to go – Lanier is very talented, man. They got some really, really good athletes and some speed that's going to be hard to deal with tomorrow night, and we need our defense to be dialed in.
Coach, you're going to have to deal with some family stuff. And I got Halloween night for the kids, so we're going to get you out a little early, maybe around 6:10-ish, something like that. So you can go out and have a little family fun evening for Halloween 2019. Coach, let's quickly go over Class 7A Region 2 standings. It's pretty much it's finalized because the bracket is out. We do know who your Prattville Lions will play in round 1 in just a few weeks. Lee Montgomery 7-3, 3-3 in region play. Auburn 6-3, 4-2. Central Phoenix City sitting atop 9-1 and 6-0 undefeated in Region 2 play. And then Prattville right behind Central Phoenix City 7-2, 4-2, and then the rest of the way Smith Station, Enterprise, Jeff Davis. Smith Station 0-6 in region play. Enterprise at 500 at 3-3, and Jeff Davis with just one win at 1-5. Just jumping, kind of through the standings. Thinking back maybe a couple months ago when the show started, Coach. Is this kind of where you saw maybe Central and Prattville being 1 and 2 in region standing as you approach playoff time?
Well, and unfortunately, I think we're actually 3, which I wish we were 2, but I did think that we.
We're sitting there with Auburn too.
Yeah, that's right. I guess, but they own the tiebreaker. But you're right, on that. So you're correct there. Yes, I really thought we were good enough to have this type of year. I mean, you get into it, and obviously we're disappointed that we dropped the game to Auburn just when we lost Central, but. I really thought this team, that they're capable, man, of winning any game. And even both those games, some things go our way right there, maybe different outcomes. But, yeah, this is where when we took, obviously when we become the head coach, our expectation is to win. And we didn't, we want to win it all. But, yes, I guess year 2 for where we're at, man, I guess this is where I expect us to be. And hopefully, we can make a run here and really be even better than what we are right now.
Coach, backtracking before we get to the last game of the Sydney season, Sydney Lanier Class 6A opponent, let's backtrack a little bit, okay? We looked at the first 2 games, first game on the road at Foley, then you hosted Stanhope, got the big W there, and then you had that really early Week 3 bye that we talked about, and then from there on out, my goodness, 3 straight road games, pretty tough road games too, Central Phoenix City, Enterprise, and Wetumpka. What do you think your team and you have, learned individually going through a stretch like that? Because, again, Central Phoenix City, a team that's been there, it's done it.
That's right.
It's a team that everybody's chasing in the classification. What was the biggest thing you would think at this point that you've taken away from that early stretch with those road games?
Well, I really feel like that, man, we were kind of put in, I won't say the grinder, but that is a tough test. And you go to Central and you play kind of on the road. So our guys are used to traveling, which is one thing. It's going to work out good. We got to go in the first round of the playoffs. We're used to making a trip where we got to leave school early or get on a bus and take a trip. So that does help. And, man, I'd like to think that, man, we played in probably the toughest region in the state. When it comes to physicality and athletes and coaching, the combination of all 3, man, it's probably, to me, it's got to be the best region. And there's other regions that claim the same. I get that. The Birmingham region is very well coached and really good football. Man, you're going to play quality opponents every Friday night. The same with us. So we feel like, look, we went against the defending state champ. We went in one of the top program state in Auburn. And we feel like, man, you can say that we're getting our name back in the, and that, I guess you can say that line of thinking with some of the better teams in the state. And that was the goal. Now the next step is to go win it where we are the best team in the state. So, but, yeah, I think we learned that we can go play. We can go compete. We can go win any game we play. We got to go play well to do it.
Pre-game show tomorrow night starts at 6 o'clock. Of course, the guys will bear Chip Powell and everybody else will join you at 6:45. Kickoff at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Sydney Lanier will get much more into that in just a few moments. Tons more to talk about before Coach gets out, hangs out with the kids, hangs out with the wife for his little special Halloween evening. Again, this is the second to last game because we've got a playoff game that we'll get to. But last game of the regular season, Sydney Lanier week for your Prattville Lions. That's tomorrow night. We'll break even more of that down and take a look into 2 weeks from now. Playoff action in Class 7A. Stay with us. You're listening to the Coach Caleb Ross Show.
We're here today at Larry Puckett Chevrolet by the brand new Blazer. Got General Sales Manager Kirk Mims here. Kirk, tell us what's going on here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet.
It's closeout time at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. The 2019s are going fast. We've got save up to $5,000 on one of these Blazers. You can save up to $7,000 on the new Equinox, and you can save up to $14,000 off of a new 19 Silverado. There will never be a better time. Come and see us.
Great time to come see him. Come see Kirk and the boys here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
Buffalo Rock is well known for Pepsi and other great soft drink brands. Did you know that Buffalo Rock is one of the River Region's largest full-service caterers? And have you heard about Micro Market? Buffalo Rock is leading the region with innovation to replace conventional vending at many of the larger industrial plants. Plant management loves it, and so do the employees. To find out more about Buffalo Rock Catering and the Micro Market, call Mike Barnett at 334-394-4452. The Buffalo Rock family is proud to support area schools. BuffaloRock.com.
Did you know you can buy an E-Z-GO golf cart for only $3,100 now at Prattville Outdoors, 118 Highway 82 West in Prattville? Prattville Outdoors has a great selection of previously owned 2017 E-Z-GO golf carts. Prattville Outdoors even has a camo model that's been jacked up and ready for hunting season, selling at only $69.95. Come see the Johnson Brothers and Viv today at Prattville Outdoors, 118 Highway 82 West, or go to PrattvilleOutdoors.com. That's PrattvilleOutdoors.com.
Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish. Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish.
I only use U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We've been selling U.S. farm-raised catfish since 1978.
They do have a choice for a good, wholesome, safe fish. We know it's a good product.
Ask for U.S. farm-raised catfish, only the finest, freshest, tastiest. You can taste the difference.
From our farm to your table, your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Hey, this is Chip Powell. I'm here with Lewis Mills, Service Manager at Larry Puckett Chevrolet, here at Express Oil Change and Tires Engineers. As you can hear, they're getting the new tires put on. Lewis, tell us what's going on here.
Well, Chip, you know, hunting season around the corner, you're trying to get a jump on things. We're putting on your Nitto grapplers on your truck now, so we have BF Goodrich, Michelin, Uniroyal, and multiple other lines of tires.
Man, that's great, Lewis. We really appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Bye.
Week, the last game of the regular season. You're listening to this, of course, on Dixie Country 100.1 FM. Prattville Live, watch the live stream. You can watch us do the show right here each and every Thursday night. Also, DixieCountry.com. Plus, you can ask Alexa, just play Dixie Country. Coach, man, it is, it's finally here. You know, it seems like it's been kind of overnight, you know, for me,
right.
jumping in with this crew and, you know, playing host of the show each and every Thursday. I tell you what, you've made it easy, my friend. I mean, each and every week, come in here, you know, I'm hitting you with the same old questions, and, you know, occasionally I'll throw you a curveball, but it's been fun.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it, man. I do. You do a good job with it. You prepared, and you got stuff, together, and, man, I enjoy doing this. I do. You know, some guys don't. Some coaches that I know, they don't really enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing it. It's a chance to promote your program, and you know, after you do it a while, man, you get used to it. You get a little more comfortable. So we're not the best at it, but man, anytime we can promote our kids and promote our program and get our message out there, man, I think it's a win-win. And this is a first-class show, man. I mean, what Stacy Mills and what they do, man, it's first class. And get a lot of compliments on this show. Get a lot of compliments on our radio broadcast, man. I've had other coaches who have been maybe they weren't playing that night and they were off traveling, and they'll, hey, man, we turned into your broadcast on the way and said, man, that thing's first class. It's done really, really well. So, man, that's a compliment to, man, what Will, Chip, what Stacy puts on, man. I mean, it's a really good quality product.
Speaking of Stacy Mills, when you have to get out a little early tonight, we're not upset because we get to bring in that guy you just talked about, Stacy Mills, kind of touch into his brain, kind of see behind-the-scenes look, see what he's seeing with some of these matchups, maybe some playoff other games that we're not really focused on. But one game we are focused on, Coach, you got your team 7-2. We've talked about the losses, 4-2 in Region 2 play. First game on the bracket, it's been released. On the road at Theodore. That's going to be next Friday night. It's going to be November 8th as you just get your beautiful wings delivered to the table. Look at that, man.
Yeah, they do.
And, I'll be honest, a little jealous at this point. I can because it's so cold back here. I mean, it's great job of, like, the heaters. And, of course, unless you're watching this, you can't see it. So, again, a radio guy talking about what he sees. But, people driving that they have no idea, but the heater's pretty good back here, so if you can still make it out, come see us at Buffalo Wild Wings. And Coach, I think your wings are so hot, I'm starting to get, I'm starting to heat up a little bit. But not looking ahead too much, but technically we're kind of looking ahead, Coach. I mean, sitting in there, it's not a 7-8 game, it's a 6-8 game to wrap up the season, and you got Theodore. What's the main focus, for something you're looking at as a coaching staff, as personnel? You look at your players and say, okay, this is kind of the warm-up game. This is going to be the last type of thing we get before it really, really counts. For just hitting the road to the state championship at Jordan-Hare.
Well, I'll say this. With our kids and the preparation, man, it has 100% been sitting in the air. And we're I don't know if anybody's ever this. I don't know if we'll ever be this way, but we're not good enough, in my opinion, to look ahead and start talking about Theodore. And we got Laniers a really quality opponent. And they're one of those teams that can beat anybody on any given night, anybody in the state. They got good athletes. They got size. They got speed. They're well coached, man. They do some good stuff. So we're going to have our hands full. We got to put full attention to them. Now, yes, in the big scheme of things, playing a 6A team, it's not going to change your playoff, how you do that, or all that's been said. You're right. We're going to Theodore, but as a football coach, we can't go and play bad tomorrow night and win or lose. We can't play bad football and then go and turn around the next week and expect to be successful. It just, to me, it doesn't work that way. We've also I really believe we trained our kids to, hey, man, we focus on each day at a time. And it's always going to be about us. We always got to know who we're playing. We got to know the personnel. We got to know the scheme. But it's really about how we practice on what we do and how we execute. To me, I just think it's safer to do it that way. It's just better to do it that way. Have I seen Theodore? I mean, when I get an extra second or two and I'm not looking up in the air, I might have peeked to two, but really just ain't had a whole lot of time. I'll say this: I've had to do a lot of planning for the trip for Theodore. I mean, just because you got we plan on going down the night before. We're going to stay overnight in a hotel. I've had to put time in that aspect. That I've had to get buses and hotel rooms and food lined up. And the quarterback club's helped me a bunch, with that stuff.
Yeah, Coach, it's one thing I've kind of heard too is that the broadcast crew, it's going to be a little bit different atmosphere for them too over at Theodore.
Yeah, I mean, apparently I remember from when my days down in Mobile when I was the head coach at McGill, we played Theodore, and it's a home field environment, man. If I'm Theodore, you love it, man. It's just the way the field's set. It's really good for them. And it's a tough place to play. That's what you want. If you're a home team, you want your visiting team, to feel uncomfortable, and they definitely do that there. So it's good. It's kudos to them for that. So, but yeah, I believe it's a place where I don't think our coaches are even going to have the chance to get into a press box. So, I mean, it's just if you're up in the booth. So, I mean, we're going to try to prepare for all that. But, we've talked about it some, but, man, Lanier's got a good team. We've got to go play well tomorrow night. And like I said, we need good, positive momentum going into the playoffs.
Man, Coach, solid content right there. Of course, I want to touch on that next week, but let's get back to the Poets and kind of get a nice little preview for them. Now, looking at the stats, Lanier 3-4 overall, 3-2 in their region in Class 6A. Poets coming off a loss to Dothan, a tough one, 22-19, which gave Dothan the region championship out there in Class 6A. Now, on the season, Coach, Poets giving up 126 points. They've only scored 118, but I kind of look at that. I mean, it's almost 50-50 type of, thing when you look at the stat sheet. But I think the biggest thing that comes off to me, and, I want to get you to address on it, is that, it's not a lot of points either way. I sit there from top to bottom and look at their schedule, look at the wins and losses, and a lot of those games are close ball games.
That's right. Even Dothan game, they're up 19-7 going in the fourth quarter, in which Dothan's got a good football team. And Dothan turned it over a little bit and put themselves in some bad situations. But either way, Lanier's up 19-7. Really probably should have won that game.
Mm-hmm.
I think they played Lee early in the year, and I think it's a 19-17 game. So some of the better teams in our area, man, they have played beaten or they played to the end. So, man, this is a good football team, and I've tried to tell our football, and our kids have had a great week. I keep saying that every week, but I mean this. It's probably one thing you asked me earlier. I probably should have said what I've learned. Our team knows how to prepare, man. They really do. We had Monday and Tuesday were really good days of practice. We got to go outside. Now, the last 2 days have been washout as far as outside, but and good news, thankful we've got some type of indoor facility where we've been able to get a lot of work. And, man, sometimes in those type of situations when you got to go indoor and you got to do more walk-through or half-line stuff, it's sometimes hard for teenagers to focus. Man, our kids have been dialed in. We've challenged them to hey, think about what we got to do here. Need everybody in the right spot. Need to be efficient with their time. And the kids have bought into that, man. So I've been pleased that our kids aren't, man, they're not overlooking Lanier. They're not looking, nobody's talked about next week. I mentioned to them that we are going to be traveling down to let their parents know that, hey, we are going to be playing Theodore and we're going to go down the night before. But that's really all we've talked about, Theodore. Our kids, their full attention is getting better, ourselves as a team as we prepare for Lanier.
How much more difficult is when you get through a week, and it's been really nasty here in Prattville and Central Alabama with rain and stuff. Something hopefully you're not going to see much in next week. I haven't looked at the forecast, but how much more difficult is it when you have to basically condense what you're doing, because you're going to a great indoor facility, but it's not like you're practicing on a full field.
No, you're absolutely right. It's a challenge. It's a logistics challenge, and that's what when you're a head high school coach, you're a little bit of you're a jack of all trades, probably master of none. But so you're trying to get a whole team. We're going to go down to the stadium. We want to use our stadium. Well, if it's thunder and lightning, that's not going to help you. So all right. So when you're traveling down there, you got to get buses and you got to go what bus list and all that stuff. Well, then if you're going to stay here, then the goal is, all right, it's probably not real efficient to get all 120 players on our team in here at one time. So we split up offense and defense, and we got to put some attention to special teams. So it's that fine line of what do we need to get covered today, how we're going to get it covered. Also, how many minutes? Is offense in here 30 minutes? Is defense in here 30? How are we going to get that done? So that's really it's the logistics. And your coaches help you, man. We got some, and I always try to throw things off our assistant coaches, get their opinion. Sometimes sometimes we're going to do that. Sometimes hey, this is what we need to do because I've been here and I think this works. So it's a fine. But you're right. It's not like we just roll the ball out there and let's call a few plays in practice. We're trying to get the most out of our time in the space that's provided. So and that's really to me that's to be the key or the goal of a head coach is taking what you got, the resources you got, and making the most of it. So from personnel and players, from coaches, from facilities, and that's an everyday challenge.
Coach, in just a few minutes, we'll get to Taylor Thompson, our Buffalo Rock Pepsi player of the game. His performance against Smith Station, 5 catches, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns. But before we get to that, of course, I got to bring this up. Something we talked about last week, Alabama High School Football Historical Society has somehow to figure out a way to put a point spread on these games. Last week, you told me, and, I didn't really realize it, but you're correct. Prattville covered in that game against Smith Station. So this week, just a little fun tidbit, a 23-point favorite, according to this website, against Sidney Lanier. Thoughts on, the accuracy of trying to get some of these high school games?
Pure 100% coincidence that we had that 28
pure
points
luck.
Last week. Like I said, man, and especially when stuff like that, when you look up there and somebody says, well, you're supposed to be a 23-point favorite against
Lanier. You start laughing a little bit.
Man, you're not laughing. You want to get mad. Like, what? Are you kidding me? Lanier's a good football team. And, to say that, we were a 28-point favorite against Smith, but we were also a 9-point favorite against Auburn. So, you got to take that stuff for what it's worth. We talked about it a little bit last week. I hope that's not where it's going. It does create excitement, and a lot of people get on that site. It's fun, but – man, it's something I don't, if something more is going on, I don't want to know about it. You know what I mean? But, hey, it's 23. I just want to win. I don't care if it's by 2 or 3. Man, let's don't go down that route. You know what I mean? What's the line on Alabama LSU? That's probably a better question. That's what everybody's probably really wanting to know right now.
I think that one was maybe 11.5, 12 points, Alabama.
Oh, wow.
Nah, I think it was this past week, so I mean, it's definitely could have changed. Maybe
yeah,
with news of Tua
that
Tagovailoa on that,
Good
but
gracious, man.
well,
that's a world I want to get into.
Pregame show tomorrow night, 6 o'clock right here in Dixie Country, 100.1 FM. You don't want to miss that. Live coming to you at 6:45 on the field. Will Barrett, Chip Powell, the whole gang will be there with kickoff for you. Come in at 7 o'clock. Of course, want to get you out to the stadium, Stanley Jensen Stadium, downtown Prattville. You can get out, come see your Lions again tomorrow night. Kickoff is 7 p.m. against Sidney Lanier, the Poets of South Court Street in Montgomery. We've got much more to get to in the show. When we come back, Taylor Thompson, our Buffalo Rock Pepsi Player of the Game performance against Smith Station. We'll talk with him, break it down, and look ahead for tomorrow night. Stay with us. We got much more coming your way. You're listening to the Coach Caleb Ross Show.
We're here today at Larry Puckett Chevrolet by the brand new Blazer. Got General Sales Manager Kirk Mims here. Kirk, tell us what's going on here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet.
It's closeout time at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. The 2019s are going fast. We've got save up to $5,000 on one of these Blazers. You can save up to $7,000 on the new Equinox, and you can save up to $14,000 off of a new 19 Silverado. There will never be a better time. Come and see us.
Great time to come see him. Come see Kirk and the boys here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
Buffalo Rock is well known for Pepsi and other great soft drink brands. Did you know that Buffalo Rock is one of the River Region's largest full-service caterers? And have you heard about Micro Market? Buffalo Rock is leading the region with innovation to replace conventional vending at many of the larger industrial plants. Plant management loves it, and so do the employees. To find out more about Buffalo Rock Catering and the Micro Market, call Mike Barnett at 334-394-4452. The Buffalo Rock family is proud to support area schools. BuffaloRock.com.
Did you know you can buy an E-Z-GO golf cart for only $3,100 now at Prattville Outdoors, 118 Highway 82 West in Prattville? Prattville Outdoors has a great selection of previously owned 2017 E-Z-GO golf carts. Prattville Outdoors even has a camo model that's been jacked up and ready for hunting season, selling at only $69.95. Come see the Johnson Brothers and Bibb today at Prattville Outdoors, 118 Highway 82 West, or go to PrattvilleOutdoors.com. That's PrattvilleOutdoors.com.
Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish. Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish.
I only use U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We've been selling U.S. farm-raised catfish since 1978.
They do have a choice for a good, wholesome, safe fish. We know it's a good product.
Ask for U.S. farm-raised catfish, only the finest, freshest, tastiest. You can taste the difference.
From our farm to your table, your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Hey, this is Chip Powell. I'm here with Lewis Mills, Service Manager at Larry Puckett Chevrolet, here at Express Oil Change and Tires Engineers. As you can hear, they're getting the new tires put on. Lewis, tell us what's going on here.
Well, Chip, hunting season around the corner, you're trying to get a jump on things. We're putting on your Nitto grapplers on your truck now, so we have BF Goodrich, Michelin, Uniroyal, and multiple other lines of tires.
Man, that's great, Lewis. We really appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Bye.
Out in Prattville. Big game tomorrow night, Sidney Lanier week for your Prattville Lions. But joining me first before we kind of break down a little bit more of that, Taylor Thompson, our Buffalo Rock player of the game. Big game, Taylor, against Smith Station a week ago. 5 catches, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns. Coach Ross defending you. You should have had 6 catches, maybe 3 scores out there. But, man, an incredible game for you. For people watching live on our Prattville Live YouTube channel right now, we're going to pull out the high school player of the game, the plaque that, man, you know, some really good players have gotten into the season. I'll hand it to you, Taylor. Go ahead and get some pictures for that. I think maybe they did as well. But, man, you know, first off, congrats on getting this award. It was a big week for you, and it was me and Coach were kind of talking, looking at the stat sheet. I mean, there's been a lot of good players on your team to put up some stats, but you've been consistently putting up stats, just not this season, but a lot of last year too. So it's a pleasure for me to have you at this table, my man.
Sir, it's a pleasure to have you too. Thank you.
Yeah, so just walk me through the last game. Excitement level to kind of get out there. I mean, it was the last region game that, you know, your team had last week at Smith Station. What was the mindset heading in for you guys?
The mindset was just to go out there and win, basically, but it's also my senior year, and the last time I'll get to do this with my team.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just really exciting to get to play the last region game and also our second to last home game, and I'm glad I put up a show.
How much fun was that, man? I mean, 5 catches and, you know, getting the grabs, getting to just share the rock around because, you know, a couple of weeks ago we had Kedrick, he was in here. He had a really big game a couple of weeks ago as well. And it just seems like y'all have so many weapons offensively. Is it really fun? You know, it's something I ask each of these offensive guys. Do you just flip a coin? Do you play paper, rock, scissors? Do you do something to figure out which one of these skill guys are going to go off?
No, sir, but we just have so much depth. Like, it's crazy. I think this is the best receiving corps I've ever been on. And, like, any night, anyone has the ability to go off. Isaiah, Kendrick, or Bates, or any of our running backs. We got 3 that can come in and just do anything. And then Kyle's consistent almost every night.
You know, just walk me back. You know, let's go back to spring practice. Moving forward, it's summer. Next thing you know, it's fall, and you know, you get a couple of those last practices in fall camp, and then you open up the season. You got to open up on the road at Foley. What was like from the preparation standpoint going into your senior season for that?
It was hard work, and I actually played baseball all until this offseason, and I'm so glad that I made that decision to stop because I got so much better this offseason. I feel so much quicker and faster and just lighter on my feet. And the team just did really good with the offseason.
Was that something that you just had to make a decision that you're just going to stay in the weight room, stay on the practice field, get more reps with your quarterback and some of these other guys?
Yes, sir. Like, as soon as I went back to baseball, I was like, I miss it too much. I can't stop doing this. So I just had to go back and get the work in this offseason.
So, you know, thinking, you know, a couple months from now or senior season, are you going to play baseball? Are you going to work out more? You know, kind of what's the plan for that?
I don't think I'm going to play baseball this year, but I think I'm going to help them manage, like do a little sports management with them to help out. But I'm definitely going to be working out and getting ready for college, show people what I can do.
Division I, huh? All right, well, Taylor Thompson, again, 5 catches, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns against Smith Station. And, man, you know, I'm sitting here at this next thing I'm about to give you, and I'm glancing at your hair, and you got some good-looking hair. And this right here, my man, a free MVP haircut certificate from Sports Clips in Prattville. Coach can tell you, man, I mean, not only do you get a good haircut, you get a massage, you get a hot towel, which I think the hot towel is my favorite. You know, you get a full wash, blow dry, style it any way you want it. Definitely have to use that. Coach, favorite part for you, huh? Is that the hot towel, maybe?
It's probably the hot towel. Hot towel is pretty good, man. It really is. So, haircut's haircut, and they do a good job, but that hot towel can't beat, man. It really is.
Coach, what have you seen from Taylor? As, you know, of course, I look at the stat sheet and we talk about what he does, plus all these other guys he got that are just playmakers each and every week. But what's a thing that Taylor maybe brings that's something special that's just off the field?
Oh, man, he's such a worker. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Taylor has been gifted with a lot, but he works at it too, man. He's also earned it. I mean, he is, and he's like you said, he didn't play baseball this year, which, man, we didn't. That was Taylor's decision. Come to me, and I said, hey, you need to talk to Coach Hall if that's what you want to do, because we want them playing multiple sports. But if they don't, then that's your decision. I said, let's go get in this weight room, and he did. And that's the thing, man. He worked every day. There's not he don't take a day off. He don't take a day off from practice. He don't take a day off in the weight room. He's constantly trying to improve his craft. And from a football player standpoint, I've never coached a kid like him. I've never had a kid with his size, with his athletic ability. And I'll be honest, I had to, when I first got here last year, I really had to go and study ways. Says, all right, man, I've got a guy like him. How can I use him? And really, you would have finally realized, like, look, when we put him at receiver, use him as a receiver. When we put him at he's a big body, we got to have him doing some blocking stuff, and he's strong and he's powerful. So he's a matchup problem. So man, he's just a weapon that you can stay he can stay in the field the whole game. You ain't got to go pull a tight end or pull a receiver out. But he's that guy. So, and I know I used to coach defense years ago that. Man, that's tough. That way you can't ever match personnel. You can go get into an 11 personnel tight end set, and they'll have to go send a guy off the field and bring another guy on the field. He's just a weapon there, man. And I remember it was about week 2 or week 3 last year. We're trying to throw a tunnel screen, and we had different guys trying to get to it, and just wasn't working. I said, let's throw it to Taylor. I bet he catches. I bet he does. I bet he does really well. He catches and he gets vertical and gets about 17 yards. And I was like, man, look, he can do it.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, that's the guy we can do a lot of stuff with. And he's fun to coach, man. He's for me, he's a fun weapon to have, but he's an enjoyable kid to coach too, man. Obviously, we got really good kids, and he ranks up there with them.
Taylor, your support, it's one thing I can see is athletes who have a lot of support, and I think your family really, really supports you. I mean, just having your dad talk to him, always coming out, always supporting. How much has that meant to you, especially off-season wise, and the past couple of seasons, finally leading up to your senior season?
Oh, it's meant the world to me just to have a father figure and just a family that supports me all the time. And then the coaches, they're just like my second family. They're always there for me, and I know they're always going to be back here supporting me.
What are you looking forward to the most? You're going to wrap up the last regular season game that it's going to be this season, your senior season. Man, guys, hey, it's cold out here, okay? It's starting to affect me a little bit. What's the emotion like for you just sitting here the night before? It's Halloween, just randomly it's Halloween the night before, but last game that you could potentially go out there and put your cleats on at Stanley Jensen. What's the emotion base for you like?
I'm going to be honest, it really hasn't hit me yet, but I feel like as soon as that game's over and we win that game, I feel like it's going to really hit me, and I might cry. I might cry for real.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that, Taylor. Look, I was watching a TV. I don't even know what TV show I was watching, and I felt a tear come on the other night. And I'm only 27, so it's normal to feel that type of thing. I think Coach will tell you. I mean, Coach gets up at 4:15 a.m., so he's watching the weather. He might start crying watching that or something. I don't know,
no,
but
tough guys, man. We don't cry. I told the kids this, and this was now hopefully a different scenario. My last game at Stanley Jensen was a first round playoff game. We got beat. And I told them, and all the years I played football now, that's the only time I sat there and I cried. I cried like a baby because that was really the same thing. He's realized, man, I'll never play high school football again. And I was fortunate, went on and played 4 years of college football, but it's not the same. And it's like I even knew then it was not going to be the same. The good news for these guys is we do have another game. Hopefully we'll have another 4 more games after tomorrow night. So, but, you never know. So you never know about it may be the last home game, could be not, who knows. So. It's gonna mean something to him. And this guy here's, man, put a lot of time, a lot of passion, a lot of effort into Prattville football, man. And that's what you want. You want it to mean that much to these kids.
Taylor Thompson, Buffalo Rock Player of the Game performance against Smith Station. 5 catches, 87 yards, man, 2 touchdowns. Hopefully you can put up maybe double that tomorrow night. And, we'll see big things for you in the playoffs against Theodore. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up for both of y'all tonight. Me and Stacey Mills will wrap it up the rest of the way. Enjoy Halloween. Good luck tomorrow night, and go Lions.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, well, that'll do it. Stay with us. Much more. We're going to break down, look to a playoff in 7A, maybe break down a couple other classifications if you are wanting to know kind of how does Central Alabama fare. Well, we've got you covered. Stay with us. Much more ahead. You're listening to the Coach Caleb Ross Show.
We're here today at Larry Puckett Chevrolet by the brand new Blazer. Got General Sales Manager Kirk Mims here. Kirk, tell us what's going on here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet.
It's closeout time at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. The 2019s are going fast. We've got save up to $5,000 on one of these Blazers. You can save up to $7,000 on the new Equinox, and you can save up to $14,000 off of a new 19 Silverado. There will never be a better time. Come and see us.
Great time to come see him. Come see Kirk and the boys here at Larry Puckett Chevrolet.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
Buffalo Rock is well known for Pepsi and other great soft drink brands. Did you know that Buffalo Rock is one of the River Region's largest full-service caterers? And have you heard about Micro Market? Buffalo Rock is leading the region with innovation to replace conventional vending at many of the larger industrial plants. Plant management loves it, and so do the employees. To find out more about Buffalo Rock Catering and the Micro Market, call Mike Barnett at 334-394-4452. The Buffalo Rock family is proud to support area schools. BuffaloRock.com.
Did you know you can buy an E-Z-GO golf cart for only $3,100 now at Prattville Outdoors, 118 Highway 82 West in Prattville? Prattville Outdoors has a great selection of previously owned 2017 E-Z-GO golf carts. Prattville Outdoors even has a camo model that's been jacked up and ready for hunting season, selling at only $69.95. Come see the Johnson Brothers and Viv today at Prattville Outdoors, 118 Highway 82 West, or go to PrattvilleOutdoors.com. That's PrattvilleOutdoors.com.
Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish. Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish.
I only use U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We've been selling U.S. farm-raised catfish since 1978.
They do have a choice for a good, wholesome, safe fish. We know it's a good product.
Ask for U.S. farm-raised catfish, only the finest, freshest, tastiest. You can taste the difference.
From our farm to your table, your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
Hey, this is Chip Powell. I'm here with Lewis Mills, service manager at Larry Puckett Chevrolet, here at Express Oil Change and Tires Engineers. As you can hear, they're getting the new tires put on. Lewis, tell us what's going on here.
Well, Chip, you know, hunting season around the corner, you're trying to get a jump on things. We're putting on your Nitto grapplers on your truck now, so we have BF Goodrich, Michelin, Uniroyal, and multiple other lines of tire.
Man, that's great, Lewis. We really appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, welcome back in, Coach Caleb Ross Show. No Coach Ross. He's off enjoying Halloween, as much of you listening are most likely on the way to some special parties, taking the kids out to grab some candy, enjoy your night, be safe, as we always want to promote. Again, right after the show in just a few minutes, if you're an Alabama fan, got to stick around. It's the Coach Nick Saban Show. Follows each and every week on Thursday night right here on Dixie Country, 100.1 FM at 6:30. Again, just to kind of recap a little bit, Taylor Thompson, our Buffalo Rock player of the game, 5 catches, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns against Smith Station in the 49-21 win a week ago. This week, though, different opponent. Sidney Lanier, 3-4 overall, 3-2 in Class 6A standings. They lost to Dothan a week ago in a tough one by 3 points. But, of course, that doesn't matter. Records are thrown out anytime these two teams get together. Now, one guy you don't see that is in front, if you're watching right now on Prattville Live on the YouTube channel or through Facebook, you're not going to see anybody except myself right here in front of this beautiful Prattville Lions helmet. But joining me on the mic, if you're listening, you know him well, Stacy Mills. Stace, man, you know, this is the first time that me and you have actually been on the mic for this show, or I think any show.
I think we've done a couple of things over at Doug's before, but it was just
years ago.
Just real brief on the midday show that he had. But
oh yeah.
As far as this is our first first joining of the minds on the air.
All right, Stacy, let's do one thing, something we didn't do with Coach Ross that I know a lot of people will be wondering. Again, this is the last game of the regular season. No more region games, so it's just a, in essence, out-of-conference, out-of-classification game against Sidney Lanier, who is Class 6A for your Prattville Lions. That's tomorrow night, the last and final game of the regular season. This is basically how it breaks down in Class 7A. If you're looking at 2019 AHSAA football playoff bracket, looks like this. Central Phoenix City, they're going to be awaiting the winner of this game, your Prattville Lions. Theodore and Prattville Lions next Friday night, the 8th of November, will be on the road out towards Mobile area to take on that one. Whoever gets that will play Central Phoenix City, who is the number 1 overall seed in the second round on the 15th. Now, the rest of the field looks like this, too. McGill-Tulin will be playing Enterprise team coming out of Region 2 bracket as well. Now, the winner of that game, well, they'll go on and play who? It will be the Auburn Tigers. Spacey, you look at it, Central Phoenix City and Auburn, the 2 losses that Prattville has had on the season, those 2 teams look to get byes or be awaiting the winner of that game.
I was just going to say the 3 and 4 seed in Region 1 hasn't been determined yet, so it's going to be from what if everything falls like it should. Central will most likely play Baker first round.
Is that it?
Yeah,
okay.
And then Auburn will most likely play Murphy.
Yeah, I could have swore in years past, maybe the number 1 overall seed would get a bye. Is that ever happened, or am I losing my mind on the show?
No, it's actually kind of as 7A has 1 round less than everybody else.
Okay,
so,
well, there you
go.
So
this is actually. You actually start out in the quarterfinal. Almost, it's almost like you go.
Look, really at this point, I feel like I lose my mind because over at the Alabama News Network, we currently on our schedule of high school teams that we have, 63 high schools, 7 colleges. So, look, you just got to forgive me. I lose my mind sometimes.
Look, there's all we have to worry about is the 7A bracket. Now, you as a news guy, you got to worry. You got a very good Catholic team you're going to have to be following. Good St. James.
Tons of them.
St. James teams. There's several teams in Montgomery that are going to make playoff runs in several different divisions. So you really got your hands full for the next few weeks.
All right, so let's revisit this so I can actually get it right. Just for the record, Central Phoenix City most likely will play Baker. The winner of that game will play the winner of Theodore and Prattville. It's very top of the bracket. Like Stacy just said a few minutes ago, it's kind of like starting off in the quarterfinals because of the least amount of teams that Class 7A actually does have. But right below that, McGill-Tulin Enterprise will play the winner of Auburn and whoever they play. On the bottom half of the bracket, this is kind of where it gets just completely out of our area. So, other than looking at the rankings, I know a little bit about these teams. James Clemens, Vestavia Hills, they'll be playing each other for a chance to play in the next round. Hoover and Sparkman, Stacy, and then we have Thompson, Austin, and then Florence and Mountain Brook. How much do you know about that lower half of the bracket?
Well, lower half of the northern teams, it's unless things change, it's always been. You pretty much look at it. Region 3 will beat Region 4 all the way across the board. That's usually it's amazing how. Now this year, James Clements, they're a real strong team up north and up, but the Huntsville teams just have a time. The number 1 seeds always have a time with the number 4 seed in the Region 3, the Birmingham area, because you're always playing quality opponents. Because
that's true.
Vestavia would probably be the number 1 seed up in the top division if they were up there, because but in their division they're behind 3 very good football teams.
Well,
and also in that region, you got to look at this. With Vestavia finished 4th, 5th and 6th. Or Payne Park, which has a quarterback that's a Barker that's throwing for over 400 yards a game, and then you got Hewitt-Trussville, was considered one of the favorites to win up there. And Hewitt-Trussville, they upset a Mountain Brook team last week, and it's crazy up there. That region is so top heavy. You got 6 teams competing for 4 spots every year, and then It's almost like here comes the Huntsville teams. Okay, it's 4 losses across the board, and let's just have a tournament out of the Region 3 teams. So.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting playoff picture for sure. Next Friday night, of course, your Prattville Lions playing Theodore. It's going to be a road game. Let's quickly go over the class standings. Just got a few more minutes left in the show, but let's look at this because it's definitely worth looking at. Class 7A, the one classification that we're, honestly worried about in this one. McGill-Tulin, 17 votes for number 1. They're undefeated at 9-0. Central Phoenix City, the team that we have covered a lot on this show as well, 5 votes for number 1. They're in second place at 9-1, and then Hoover, 1 vote for 1. They're 8-1 overall. And then as we go throughout the last of the, 7 remaining teams, Stacy, Thompson, Theodore, a team that Prattville's got to play next week. James Clemens, then your Prattville Lions come in at 7, Melton Brook behind them, then Vestavia Hills and Auburn. Which team really jumps out to you? I mean, yeah, we're looking at 1 through 3, McGill-Tulin, Central Phoenix City, and Hoover, but after that, which team to you has maybe been a surprise? Has it been Theodore this year?
Well, not necessarily Theodore, because like last year, they upset McGill and were the top team in that division in their region last year. Mm-hmm. So they've only lost to McGill-Tulin this year and last year. I think they had 1 region loss, but then they beat McGill-Tulin to win the region championship. But then Lee upsets them first round last year. So when they go on their big run. So now Theodore is really not a surprise down there. It's pretty much McGill-Theodore down there 1-2. With McGill probably being the traditional number 1. It's just like kind of last year was kind of an anomaly, if you will. But as far as the other teams that I think it's so hard to get away from the McGill, Central Phoenix City, Hoover, and Thompson. Those 4 right there are just have distinguished themselves this year, and now with Hoover getting their quarterback back, that's going to be
it's a game changer.
That's a game changer up north because if that Thompson Hoover game, if they have a repeat in the another matchup in the playoffs, the Hoover's only loss this year was to Thompson. Well, here's the scenario was though, but Hoover was up by 4 with about 10 minutes left in the game, and driving down, they were inside the 30-yard line, about to go up 11 in a game that was it was kind of a back and forth scoring affair.
Right.
And then the quarterback goes down in that game, and then 21 consecutive points later by Thompson, game over. So.
Well, that's a tough pill to swallow.
So you can't really say Hoover, and of course Hoover beats Central Phoenix City the first of the year. So, I mean, with them back to full strength, they're going to have a say so in who wins the whole thing.
Yeah,
very much so.
Stacy, especially a game that Central Phoenix City controlled most of it to start off the season at Crampton Ball, but Central did end up dropping. That's the only game of the season that they have lost was against Hoover in the very beginning of the year. Now, Stacy, again, something we always want to throw at people, Alabama News Network tomorrow night, Lace Up, starts at 10 o'clock. John Longshore, Adam Solomon, the whole gang, myself, Madison Jaggers. If you want to see your Prattville Lions, you want to see those highlights, that is one place to see it. You don't want to miss that. Tomorrow night starting at 10 o'clock, just like each and every Friday night. One thing we'll throw at you as well, tomorrow night, pre-game show right here on Dixie Country 100.1 FM starts at 6 o'clock. Then the guys will come to you live at 6:45 with kickoff set for 7 o'clock. Now, Stacy, do we need to go ahead and take a quick break and come back?
No, we're going to we've got all our breaks in now.
Man, we're just going to roll with it.
We're going to roll on out. Yeah.
You know, I'll be honest, I was not only getting a push for everything for the broadcast-wise for all of us. I was trying to get ready for the break, but, I mean, that puts me in a different frame of mind because this man, I mean, guys, if you're watching on Prattville Live, he's got camouflage everywhere. So I was a little concerned about people seeing him.
Yeah, well,
being out here on set. And
I had
Chip Powell joined us, man. Chip.
I was in the northeast stand of our property because we had a kind of a northwest wind coming in about 7 miles an hour.
Uh-huh.
I've been seeing about an 8-point come out every week. That's where I've been. So
You get them?
it's not a Halloween outfit. This is. What
Did
I
you
had
get
on.
them?
No, I didn't see nothing.
You wasted your time then, didn't
You know
it?
why? Because the wind came out of the northeast instead of the northwest and blew the whole thing.
Oh,
So,
man.
I don't know.
It sounds like fishing, honestly. You know, Chip and Stacy was one thing that, you know, I've enjoyed me and your time on this program, but we kind of had to wait for Chip because he was enjoying these incredible Buffalo Wild Wings wings out here and, you know, partaking, listening to the show, supporting us. Chip, what'd you get? What'd you like? Was it worth putting off coming off this, on this incredible show to enjoy the last couple bites of those wings?
Listen, I don't even want to tell you what I've eaten today. So
Okay, all
I
right.
actually came here not wanting to eat, but you can't come here and not eat because I'd eaten so much at breakfast and lunch.
Yeah,
but I got
smart.
the Caesar salad.
You
With
got a
chicken.
salad here.
Yeah, it was amazing. You don't think of a salad being here, but that's what I got. Meanwhile, Bruce Keeler, our head of security, he had like 23 wings or something.
23 wings.
Yeah.
Now, I tell you what, you know, the stories I heard about him out in Arlington about what he tore up at Texas Live, I mean, this guy can eat, can't he?
And I can't even say some of the things he did out there in Texas, but, he did.
Please don't. Please don't. You know, please just off the record, off the air, because, you know, I mean, Stacy would just have to pull the plug right now, and, you know, we want to get the last 3 or 4 minutes in. But, hey, man, you know, leading up another season in the books, pretty much regular season tomorrow night for you. You know, how has this season been? Is it a little bittersweet each year? You kind of get up to this point, you finish the regular season, and next thing you know, it's always a blessing if you got a playoff game. But has it been bittersweet to you?
Oh, well, you know, and I know y'all have talked to Caleb and everything, but what an amazing year we've had. We really haven't played like we can play one game, the Auburn game, and I think Caleb kind of mentioned it. We just didn't play up to our capabilities that night, but you know, if you look at it, we've lost 2 games, one to the defending state champions, which, you know, at their place, and, you know, that's pretty easy to do. Nobody else is beating them there, you know. But so we've had a great year. Hopefully we can be successful. And, you know, you're talking about the region, and I forget the number, Stacy, with the Mobile region number, that is.
Number one, region 1 were regions.
Region 1. You know, last year our region dominated them. We 3 of our teams won. The only team that won was the McGill versus
us.
No.
Yeah, we lost to McGill.
That's right. We were number 4.
Yeah.
Last year. That's right. Yeah. But our other 3.
The other 3 teams, region 2.
You know why? Because we should have won that game.
Yeah.
Jim Powell coming in with the accurate stats tonight. Stacy, you know, quickly before the show, and then, of course, we want to do our little plugs, just so make sure you watch tomorrow night, you listen, and make sure you get that. How has been another season, both of y'all working together? Because I know this incredible duo, plus with all the other guys, I mean, Will Barrett, the whole freaking gang. I mean, y'all have been doing this each and every year. Has it been different, both of y'all working together this year, or has it just been incredibly sweet as always?
Yeah. Well, I carry the show, Daryl. You know,
I figured that. That's why you made an appearance tonight.
They're just there, you know. And no, I don't do anything. Yeah. Stacy and Will Barrett and Johnny Burnett and Pratt Bedwell, man, they just do. Man, seriously, all I do is walk up like I just did to you. But they did such a great job, and I'm going to tell you, man, we got the best high school broadcast.
Man, no doubt.
Video, audio, whatever you call it. Not necessarily the color analyst. But the rest of the party is first class, man. And I'm telling you, Stacy Mills does an awesome job, involves the students at the school. It's such a class thing. And I just know there's not a lot of schools out there that have this kind of program, and it all goes back to Stacy.
Stacy, 20 seconds, go.
Tell you, in 20 seconds, I can just tell you.
You got 20 seconds, man.
In 20 seconds, I can tell you Chip is my biggest headache. That's all. I just got to deal with him. Everything else is a dream and a breeze, and then there's Chip.
Oh yeah.
There ain't no doubt. Look, tomorrow night, there's no doubt about this either. Hashtag Lace Up. You don't want to miss an Alabama News Network, CBS 8, ABC 32. Get all your highlights from Central Alabama. We cover right up to 63 schools. We got highlight scores. Of course, we'll have your Prattville High School highlights and score the final from tomorrow night's game against Sidney Lanier. Well, that'll do it. it for tonight. Coverage tomorrow night, though, we'll definitely remind you. Pregame starts at 6:45. Come at you live with kickoff coming your way at 7 o'clock. That'll do it for Coach Caleb Ross' show this week. Join us next week, same time, same location, 5:30 to 6:30 on Thursday nights. For Coach Caleb Ross, our producer Stacy Mills, and Chip Powell coming in to save the night the last few couple minutes, and the entire Dixie Country family. I'm Daryl Puckett. That's so long, and we'll see you next week.